Imagine standing, shield to shield, the roar of battle a deafening storm around you, a chilling, brutal symphony. An empire vast and relentless, its shadow stretching across the ancient world, seeking dominion. They came. What compels a warrior to stand, knowing the end is certain, yet refusing to yield? A profound question. A king's final breath, a sacrifice etched into the very stone of a narrow mountain pass. Unforgettable courage. This place, Thermopylae, whispers a tale of courage against impossible, overwhelming, truly terrifying odds. Long before our time, in 480 BC, humanity faced a question that echoes still, profoundly relevant. What do you do when an unstoppable force collides with an immovable, defiant spirit? A core dilemma. Imagine being vastly outnumbered, facing a titan, a colossus, an empire beyond all human measure. When the storm clouds gather, threatening to engulf everything you hold dear, your very way of life, do you fight, knowing the cost, standing firm against the encroaching darkness, holding your ground? Or do you choose to flee, to preserve life, to surrender to the inevitable tide, seeking safety? This is not just a story of war, but of a profound human choice, a personal, agonizing decision. A choice made by 300, standing for all, their names etched forever in history's heart. They chose to fight, not merely for survival, but for something far greater, an enduring principle. They fought for an ideal, a whisper of freedom, a nascent dream taking root in fertile soil. Against them, the world had never witnessed an empire of such breathtaking, fearsome, unstoppable might. Persia, a force so immense, it seemed destined to swallow all of known civilization, extinguishing hope. These were not just soldiers, they were the embodiment of a defiant human spirit, fierce and unyielding. Their stand at Thermopylae became a beacon, a fire against the encroaching darkness, a guiding light. The pass, a stage for a sacrifice, a choice that still resonates through the ages, deeply profound. It was more than a battle. It was a testament to the power of human courage, echoing eternally. So let us journey back, feel the dust, and truly understand this ancient, profound, defiant human spirit. Imagine a world, vast and old, where the sun never truly set on an empire's reach. A power so immense, this was Persia. A land flowing with wealth beyond imagining, built on centuries of conquest and toil. From distant lands to the very edges of our known world, its shadow stretched long and deep. Its cities whispered tales of power, of untold riches gathered from 100 different peoples. The earth itself seemed to bend to its will, yielding sustenance for an empire of unimaginable scale. Such monuments stood as a testament, a silent, stony declaration of their enduring, unconquerable might. For generations, the very thought of challenging Persia felt like an act of profound, almost suicidal folly. It had absorbed kingdoms, cultures, and armies, weaving them into a single, seemingly invincible fabric. Their dominion was absolute, reaching horizons few others dared to even dream of seeing, and at its heart sat Xerxes, the great king, lord of lords, a figure of immense, terrifying power. He inherited a legacy of absolute rule, a divine right to command the earth's very essence. His gaze, we can imagine, swept across his vast domain, always searching for new horizons. Yet, a yearning remained, a grand ambition burning within him, to complete his father's unfinished conquest. His eyes turned westward, towards a fragmented land across the sea, a land called Greece. The whispers of war began, carried on the desert winds, promising a campaign unlike any before. This wasn't merely about land, it was about dominion over the very seas, claiming a vital new frontier. Every satrapy, every corner of the empire was called upon to contribute its sons, its strength. To bridge the very waters, to march where no emperor had dared, was his unwavering, powerful will. Greece, with its nascent, fragile ideals of freedom and citizen rule, stood in his imperial path. He saw not merely territory, but a dangerous ideology, a seed of dissent needing to be crushed. Their strange democracy, their independent spirit, was an affront to his divine, unchallenged authority. The earth itself trembled under the countless feet of his army, an unstoppable tide of warriors. Their armaments gleamed under the sun, a frightening display of organized, overwhelming military might. Resources unimaginable flowed ceaselessly, fueling this colossal undertaking, ensuring every need was met. And on the waves, a forest of masts, countless ships ready to ferry his soldiers, to dominate the seas. Naval power, too, was his, a formidable fleet ready to outflank, to overwhelm any challenger. The small boats of the Greeks would be but splinters against this iron, imperial tide. For the Greek city-states, fiercely independent yet often quarreling, this was an existential threat. Their very way of life, their future, hung precariously in the balance against such overwhelming power. How could a scattering of small, independent cities possibly hope to stand against such an empire? The Greek world, a tapestry of islands and shores, was not one heart, but many, fiercely independent. Each polis, a jewel, held its own customs, gods, and fierce pride, a truly distinct identity. Some dreamed of art and wisdom, others honed spears, their differing destinies diverging even then. A fragmented spirit, a mosaic of loyalties, faced a storm from the distant, unknown, encroaching east. Trust was a fragile thread among cities, each wary of its neighbor's ambition, its growing power. Yet, beneath this disunity, a shared heritage, a whisper of what Hellenic meant, still lingered deeply. Then, there was Sparta, a name that echoes with a different resonance, a distinct, unyielding beat. Far from markets, a unique society forged its very soul in iron, an unyielding dedication. They were not citizens, they were a living shield, a wall of disciplined, unwavering human will. From earliest breath, life was a test, preparing them for the brutal, demanding theater of war. No softness, no indulgence, only the unforgiving path of duty, sacrifice, and devotion to their polis. Their very being was an oath, etched not in words, but in sinew, bone, unbreakable spirit. The agoge, their school of hardship, molded them, stripping fear, leaving only courage and fierce resolve. Every ache, hunger pang, harsh word shaped a warrior, unbreakable in both mind and resilient body. They moved as one, thought as one, a living testament to the power of shared, iron discipline. Return with your shield, or on it, a sacred pact whispered, echoing between mother and son. Even in solitude, training never ceased. Perfection was a relentless pursuit, a lifelong, sacred quest. These were men forged in belief's crucible, ready to face any foe, any impossible, daunting odds. And among them, a king, Leonidas, not born of silk, but of that same Spartan earth. His eyes held his people's weight, a stoic, battle-hardened leader, yet deeply human in burden. He was their shield, spear, embodying every Spartan virtue, every sacrifice, every enduring hope. His very presence calmed fearful hearts, ignited the brave, a quiet pillar of strength then. No luxury, no pomp, just shared hardship. He was one, a warrior among warriors, forever bound. His wisdom, forged in skirmishes, a lifetime of leadership, prepared him for this gravest hour. As the Persian shadow lengthened, a desperate unity began to stir among disparate Greek hearts. The Hellenic League, a fragile alliance, sought unity against the overwhelming tide, a chance for survival. Not on open plains, where numbers decide, but at a choke point. Courage could stem this tide. Thermopylae, the Hot Gates, a name whispering through history, a chosen, sacred battleground. Warriors from different Greek cities, standing side by side, looked towards the pass with grim determination. The stage was set, not for victory, but for something far deeper, a testament to defiance. Imagine, if you will, the gentle Aegean, now a dark tapestry, unwoven by 1,000 ships. Each vessel carried men, dreams, and the unwavering will of a distant, mighty empire. On land, an army beyond counting stretched, a human river flowing with a relentless, terrifying purpose. Whispers turned to shouts, shouts to frantic cries. The shadow of invasion fell upon the land. The sheer scale, the relentless march, it promised an end to the world as they knew it. Fear, cold and sharp, gripped the hearts of ordinary folk. A fear born of overwhelming power. Many Greek states, small and independent, felt the tremor of dread deep within their ancient walls. That vast, shining sea, usually a friend, now held the greatest threat they had ever known. Discussions grew frantic, voices strained with desperation. What could stand against such an onslaught? The threat was existential, touching every soul, every home. Hope seemed to wane with each passing day. The desperate need for action spurred swift messengers across the rugged, familiar landscape. The sheer weight of the impending storm pressed down, heavy, on everyone's shoulders. What hope remained? From the fear, a desperate call arose. Unity. Could these disparate states truly stand together? It was a fragile hope, born of shared peril, a prayer for strength against unimaginable odds. Arguments were many. Pride ran deep, yet survival's sharp edge began to forge a common purpose. Then, a glimmer of insight emerged. A strategic brilliance, born from knowing their own land. A place where courage, not numbers, could become the ultimate, decisive measure. Thermopylae, the hot gates, a name that would forever echo with the clash of destiny. Here, the mountains reached down to the sea, pinching the land, creating a natural bottleneck. This was their chosen ground, a place where numbers counted for far less than firm resolve. The very earth seemed to conspire, shaping this formidable, almost insurmountable, choke point. Its brilliance lay in forcing the mighty Persian tide into a narrow, constrained flow, neutralizing their strength. Imagine thousands pressing forward, yet only a handful could truly engage at any one moment. The natural defenses were formidable walls, making flanking maneuvers impossible, buying precious time. And the sea, though an enemy, also secured one flank, preventing any easy circumnavigation. This narrow front was their only hope, a gamble against an empire with boundless resources. It was here, in this constricted space, that courage would forge its eternal, unyielding legacy. And so, the meager Greek forces arrived, a small flicker of defiance against the approaching darkness. Among them, the legendary 300 Spartans, grim-faced, embodying an almost mythical resolve. They knew their fate, yet stood firm, ready to defend not just land, but a very idea. A handful of men, determined, stood ready to face a force beyond imagination, without fear. The air grew heavy with anticipation, the distant rumble growing. The world held its breath. Here, at the hot gates, history was poised, ready to etch a story into the very stones. A new day awakens, quiet yet pregnant with the echoes of history. It held a profound reckoning. Across the narrow pass, a sea of warriors stirred. Such a force seemed invincible, truly. But here, a small band waited. Their hearts, though few, beat with a fierce, shared purpose. Xerxes sent them forward, trusting in numbers. A vast river of men, certain of an easy victory. Then, the Spartans, they simply waited. A shield wall, patiently, silently, prepared to embrace the storm. The roar, the clash of steel, a thunderous echo through the chasm. The world momentarily held its breath. Yet, the wall held firm, immovable, unyielding, a testament to their unwavering spirit and training. And those first attackers, they faltered. A whisper of confusion spread, a seed of doubt planted. Again, the great host surged, relentless, a tide that believed it could wear down any rock. Each Greek warrior stood his ground, every muscle strained, every breath a quiet prayer for strength, a dance of death, precise and ancient. Each movement a testament to a lifetime of rigorous preparation. Before them, the toll mounted, a testament to courage, both given and taken by these brave souls. From his high perch, Xerxes observed. Annoyance, perhaps, began to stir in his imperial heart. Now, the Medes, the empire's finest, their proud advance promised a swift, decisive breakthrough. Surely, with banners unfurled, they charged. Their confidence a tangible thing, a wave meant to crash. Yet, the wall remained, unbroken, unyielding, as if carved from the very mountains themselves. The phalanx breathed, a living shield. It moved, it adapted, defying all expectations, all logic. Their commanders screamed, their pleas lost. The great army's momentum faltered, then stalled. A seed of dread, silent and cold, began to sprout within the Persian ranks. Their bronze gleamed, though scarred. A testament to every blow endured, every life bravely defended. As the first day ended, the sun bled crimson. Silence descended, heavy with unspoken questions. Among the Greeks, a quiet joy bloomed. Exhausted, yes, But unbroken, their spirit soared. Fires flickered softly, stories shared. A brotherhood forged in the crucible of this impossible stand. But across the pass, unease settled. The great army's spirit was troubled, a disquieting whisper. Xerxes, in his tent, knew frustration. His vast empire held at bay by so few. The second dawn broke, colder, harder, a silent promise of even greater, more desperate trials. Now, the immortals, legend whispered of their might. They advanced, a silent, deadly promise. A fearsome sight, their disciplined march. They believed themselves invincible, and many shared that dread, but the Spartans waited, knowing their foe. Their resolve hardened, anticipating the storm's fury. The pass exploded again, a maelstrom of steel. Blood stained the earth, a testament to raw, brutal courage. Still, the bronze wall held. Even against legends, they stood, a beacon of defiant, unyielding strength. And then, the unthinkable. Immortals retreated. Disbelief rippled, eroding the very bedrock of Persian confidence. The past still belonged to them. A silent, profound hope, born from impossible courage, swelled within their hearts. History turns on moments, small whispers in the dark, a serpent's path hidden from loyal eyes, and then a shadow from within their ranks, a local man named Ephialtes. His heart held a darker secret. For a price, for a promise, he revealed the mountain's deepest secret. A way around, a betrayal. It was called Anopeia, the overhead path. A shepherd's trail, known only to a few. A silent, unseen threat was already moving. The mountain, once a friend, now held a dagger. This hidden path, a cruel twist of fate, allowed the Persians to bypass the very bottleneck. The shield of the mountains was breached. The unthinkable, the truly devastating, was unfolding. News travels slowly when dread rides alongside. A lone runner carried the weight of impending doom. Every step was a prayer, a desperate plea against the inevitable. The night held its breath. In the heart of the Greek lines, a fragile calm still lingered. Sleep offered a brief, false comfort. King Leonidas, ever watchful, sat among his captains. The weight of his kingdom rested upon him. Then, a gasp, a cry from the dark. The messenger arrived, bearing a terrible, unseen burden. His words, whispered and broken, spoke of shadows on the high peaks. A path revealed. A chill ran through the camp, colder than the mountain air. The truth began to sink in. The betrayal, a poison seeping into their defenses. Ephialtes' name was uttered. A curse. A moment of profound understanding passed over his face. The serpent had found its way. The Anopeia path. Its existence meant their stronghold was now a cage, doors closing. The strategic implications were devastating. Flanked, encircled, their stand would become a massacre. He felt the immense weight of every single life entrusted to him. The choices were narrowing. An impossible choice now loomed before him, heavy as the mountain itself. What was to be done? He knew the bitter truth. The past could no longer be held. All was truly lost here. The grim realization, stark as the coming dawn. Their position, once unyielding, was now compromised. Duty, honor, and the precious lives of his men. His heart wrestled with conflicting, sacred vows. The trap was closing. Soon, the Persian hordes would descend from both sides, an inescapable net. He thought of his Spartans, their unwavering courage, their fierce dedication. They deserved better. His heroic choice. He would send the allied forces away to fight another day. For Sparta, for Greece, they must live to defend their homeland when it mattered most. Giving such an order, knowing what it meant for those who stayed, must have torn his very soul. Relief mixed with sorrow as the allied forces prepared to depart. A heavy, shared silence. He explained his decision, his voice calm, resolute. A future lay beyond this fateful pass. A somber exodus. The remaining Spartans stood firm, a living wall against the coming tide. Leonidas and his Spartans, a chosen few, prepared for their glorious, ultimate stand. Their sacrifice would echo through time, a testament to courage. They would become legends. The dawn broke, painting the stark mountains with hues of a somber, final farewell. A king's heavy burden, a silent promise etched deep within his ancient, weary eyes. No fanfare, just the quiet rustle of leather, the sharpening of destiny's final blades. In those quiet moments, friendship became steel, unspoken courage binding every brave soul. Then, a distant dust cloud, growing, an unending tide, consuming all hope. An empire's might, an overwhelming deluge, now surged toward their steadfast, final stand. His final signal, not for charge, but a silent testament to unwavering, absolute resolve. With grim resolve, they advanced, a living shield against the encroaching, merciless tide. This narrow passage, once their fortress, now became their hallowed, sacred tomb. The clash erupted, a sudden, brutal symphony of steel and desperate, fading breath. Shields locked tight, an unbroken wall, defiant, repelling the relentless, surging foe. In those eyes, an ancient fire, burning fierce, illuminating a warrior's final path. Every thrust, every block, a testament to courage beyond simple, fleeting words. Even the fearful found valor, their hearts alight with the shared, final glory. The very earth drank their sacrifice, becoming a sacred, blood-soaked testament. Arrows like rain, obscuring the sun, yet their defiance pierced that dark, deadly sky. For fleeting moments, they pushed back the vast empire, a miracle of desperate strength. Even shattered weapons found new purpose, each a defiant extension of their will. The king himself, a lion among men. His blade sang freedom's brutal song. The ground itself became a testament, built of bodies, fueled by desperate, dying breaths. A fleeting breath, a silent prayer, then back to the brutal, unending symphony. From front and rear, the jaws closed, an overwhelming tide, snuffing out hope. Even kings, though gods among men, must face their own, mortal, fragile end. The unthinkable strike, a king's last breath, exhaled into the harsh, mountain air. He fell, a king brought low, his mighty spirit now joining the timeless, ancestral winds, a primal roar of grief and rage, echoing a defiance that would never truly die. To claim his body, to deny the foe, they fought with a desperate, sacred fury. Around their king, a living wall, defending his honor, till their last, precious breath. The enemy surged, a human wave, hungry for the symbol of their hard-won triumph. Few remained, a bloodied, broken few. Yet their spirit refused to ever truly yield. Weapons gone, they fought with raw will, a testament to unbreakable, ancient, human spirit. One by one, they fell, their sacrifice echoing through the silent, solemn mountain air. Silence descended, a hallowed stillness, upon a field where heroes bought freedom with their very lives. The sun, hesitant and weary, rose upon silent horror. A profound quiet settled, heavy with all that was gone. He came, the great king, to gaze upon his costly conquest. No grand parade, just solemn, silent reflection. Thousands lay broken, silent testament to a few. This victory's immense price, profoundly felt, now lingered. There, at the heart, lay the Spartans, brothers, their final defiant stand etched forever into history's stone. A chilling quiet, broken only by wind's lament. He saw not enemies, but enduring, fearless spirit here now. The conqueror felt a strange, unsettling admiration. A seed of grudging respect for their spirit was quietly sown. Such a sea of fallen warriors, stretching beyond sight. Even victory carries a heavy, mournful, profound cost. The roar of battle silenced, leaving only the wind's whisper. A profound quiet now, holding unspeakable stories. Meanwhile, other Greeks, having slipped away, marched toward a dawn. Their hope, carefully nurtured, silently endured. Every moment bought by sacrifice was a precious gift. Time, to gather strength, to forge a true defense. They regrouped, minds fixed on what lay ahead. Thermopylae's ultimate purpose was now profoundly unfolding. But far beyond the battlefield, a somber story began. News of unparalleled courage now truly traveled quickly. Faces clouded with sorrow, then disbelief. The impossible had truly happened there, at those hot gates. This was no mere defeat. It was a defiant roar. Against overwhelming might, a profound new tale unfolded. Fear began to recede, replaced by a burning spark. This profound sacrifice was not in vain. Hope arose. The brave few, they showed what it meant to stand. Their courage, a beacon for all, truly inspiring now. Whispers became roars, from Sparta's heart to Athens' shores. The call to unity resonated deeply now. For freedom's sacred flame, they chose to give all. A legacy of unwavering spirit now profoundly remains. The sacrifice fueled a fierce, unyielding will. Greece would not crumble nor surrender, deeply united now. Thermopylae became more than a place. It was a potent symbol, a defiant spirit, etched forever in all hearts. Centuries later, the echoes still whisper of their final brave act, a profound lesson in lasting selflessness. Their story, a timeless wellspring of courage for generations. The human spirit endures, truly unbroken always. The fight was far from over, but a profound seed of hope was sown. Greece would truly stand firm. The dust settled, silence echoing over the ancient pass. But Thermopylae was never truly the end. It was a crucible, a desperate stand, yet something new began to stir within the Hellenic heart. The sacrifice, the raw courage, ignited a fire. It became a whisper, then a rallying cry. Thermopylae was the spark. It galvanized scattered city-states, forging them into a unified, resolute force. The taste of defiance, even in defeat, became a powerful elixir, strengthening their collective resolve. They prepared, not for surrender, but for battle. A desperate hope bloomed from the stony ground. The sea, vast and indifferent, awaited. A naval confrontation, pivotal and utterly defining, loomed ahead. Here, cunning and a deep understanding of the tides would truly humble the mighty Persian fleet. Salamis, a decisive victory, an impossible triumph born from a shared belief in their sacred lands. The tide had turned. The seemingly invincible Persian giant had, for the first time, truly wavered. Yet, the final chapter remained unwritten. A decisive land victory was still desperately needed. At Plataea, the Hellenic alliance stood united, their hearts beating as one against tyranny's shadow. The Persian tide receded, finally repelled. Freedom, bought with blood and sacrifice, had triumphed. The legend of the 300, born in that narrow pass, became immortal. Their sacrifice, a beacon. They stood for freedom against tyranny, choosing death over surrender, a choice echoing through time. Their defiant spirit, a powerful current, flowed through millennia, shaping the very fabric of history. From ancient battles to modern struggles, their story inspired countless generations, a timeless testament. It speaks to the human spirit's profound capacity for courage, even when all hope seems lost. A cornerstone of Western ideals, that belief in liberty's sacred worth, began on that bloody pass. The defense of liberty, the inherent right to self-determination, finds its deep roots there. The power of defiance, the courage to stand against overwhelming odds, remains eternally resonant. Freedom's ultimate price, understood deeply by those who stood, echoes still in our quiet moments. And so, the legend endures, a profound whisper from the past, reminding us to stand tall. And so, friends, we arrive at the quiet heart of Thermopylae's enduring whisper, its timeless echo across history's vast plains. It was not the number of spears, nor the size of the empire, that truly carved this story into stone. No, it was the spirit of a few, a handful of brave souls, standing against an overwhelming tide. Their final stand, born of desperation, remarkably altered the very course of history, in ways unseen. A legacy was forged, far more magnificent and lasting than any fleeting physical victory could ever hope to be. From that defiant roar against tyranny, a legend was born, woven into the very fabric of human spirit. It echoes still, in every quiet resistance, in every choice to stand for what is truly right. Thermopylae became more than a battle. It became a beacon for liberty, inspiring countless souls. The memory of their sacrifice endures, a profound testament to courage, echoing across millennia, never truly fading. Their story remains an inspiration for all ages, a gentle reminder that some stands are eternal. If this journey touched your heart, please consider liking this video, a small gesture of connection. And to continue our shared explorations through history's grand tapestry, do consider subscribing. Your thoughts on Thermopylae's last stand truly matter. Share them with us below. Join us again soon as we prepare to unravel another epic historical saga, echoing across time.